Hello, my lovelies. Happy November. So we're going to be changing some things on the channel. I hope that you will absorb the changes and be good with them and watch your videos accordingly. So this is going to be your monthly. I'm going to put all 12 zodiac signs in this video for your November monthlies, and they will be time-stamped in the comments. So I go by elements: fire, water, air, and earth. So we're going to start with the sign of Aries. All right, so I have two oracle decks we're going to use. This one is called Keepers of the Light, and we're going to use the Dragon Wisdom along with some tarot. Let's see what the energy is. We're going to have a Mercury in retrograde. There's a couple other planets that are in retrograde. So let's see what the energy is around November for you guys. What does Aries need to see? What does Aries need to know? Thank you. Okay. So we start with Mahavatar Babashi, soul expansion. You're starting to realize that everything's connected, right? All living things that draw breath on this planet are interwoven and interconnected. And if you're unsure if that is the case, I promise you that it is. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connections between all things. You also have Archangel Michael. So he's really great. He's actually come to me in visions and dreams over the last few years, and he's very protective, especially to those people who call on him. He's extremely protective. So trusting heaven, you are safe. Angels stand close. Surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. What do you need to surrender in the month of November so that you can let the miracle in? Because I feel like that is exactly what Spirit's trying to show you. What do we need to see for Aries from the dragons? What energy? Thank you. Ooh, the water chalice. So I feel like you're going to have to feel the feelings, right? So this is all about feeling the emotions. All of the chalice cards in this deck are all about different elements. So there's 4 elements: fire, water, air, and earth. That's why I go by the elements to represent you guys. And the water chalice is about kind of like a fresh slate, okay? It's like washing things clean, right? You throw a load of laundry in the washing machine, it cleans it, right? We're gonna clean the slate and we're gonna start fresh. And so I feel like November is gonna be that clean slate for you going forward. And nutrition. Do you need to focus on eating better, taking good care of yourself? Maybe that's your mental health, maybe your physical health, maybe the things that we consume, some of those being like, social media, electronics, things like that. So maybe there's something that you need to address when it comes to your nutrition in the month of November. All right, Spirit, show me what we need to see for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, please. What do Aries need to see? What does Aries need to see? Thank you. All right, let's get all your cards out. All right, Aries. So there is going to be some sort of communication coming in for you. They also said from you. So you might be communicating something, or somebody may communicate to you. I feel like it's really Spirit that's communicating. And I feel like you need to be open to receive. Right? So sometimes we go on and on about things, and in reality we need to be still and we need to listen. So if Spirit is encouraging you to communicate, I would suggest that you do so. They will pay you back. So there's something going on with like giving and receiving. I do feel like you're about to receive some sort of financial blessing, and it could be unexpected. So an unexpected check in the mail might arrive, promotions, job change, things like that, or your miracle from Archangel Michael coming in a financial form. The 6 of Coins is having more than enough, right? So more than enough to pay your own way as well as help take care of others. This is your energy with the Fool card. It's all about a new opportunity. Funny that it comes out with the water chalice, right? A clean slate, a fresh start, a new beginning. Are you ready to take that leap of faith and walk away from the things that are not good for you? Maybe it's your nutrition, maybe it's your diet, maybe there's some things that need to change, maybe it's a relationship, whatever it happens to be, there is something changing in your world. You might also be moving, traveling, or relocating, getting out of conflict and chaos and headed towards your peace. You will have some sort of decision to weigh. So you're at kind of like a fork in the road or a crossroads in the month of November, deciding which direction you go. So it's incredibly important that you are connected to Spirit so that you're tapped in and you know what's for you and what's not for you. But Spirit is bringing in some sort of miracle for you, financially speaking, at the smallest, right? So the 10 of Coins is a card that would indicate we have this massive amount of abundance coming in. Maybe it's an inheritance, maybe it's a lottery win, maybe it's like a court case or a settlement, things like that. But more than you can spend in one lifetime, right? All your needs will be met financially. They might also be bringing in companionship. It could be love, somebody that's very nurturing. This money could also come from a mother figure. The Queen of Cups is seen as very nurturing, very motherly. All right, you do need some boundaries. So you're going to know where that applies, right? Don't let people walk all over you, use you, abuse you. We want to set those healthy boundaries. That's part of your nutrition, is that you need to have like a set of rules, basically, that people can't walk all over you. That's going to help you going forward, because you're about to enter a really abundant timeline. You have the 6, the 9, and the 10 of Pentacles in your reading. So money's about to flow for you. If it's been a problem, that's about to change. Don't overthink it. Get close on the facts and the figures, and you're going to figure it out, especially if you communicate with spirit. We do have like a mother and child here, so maybe you want to start a family. Maybe you're going to help take care of somebody. I do feel like there is this instance that you want to be of value somehow, and you want to be useful. And I feel like financially you could also be blessing other people. Maybe it's through acts of charity, right? Paying it forward, acts of kindness, things like that. But I feel like you have a lot of beautiful things that are changing for you. So start fresh, get a clean slate, set those boundaries, and know that your miracles are underway. Sagittarius, what do we have for you? Master Buddha and Lady Venus, followed by Dragon Rider and Divine Order. All right, Sag. So you're going through some sort of awakening, right? Collectively speaking, the planet's always evolving. So there's some sort of increased awareness around you. Now, Master Buddha was a monk, if I remember correctly, in Tibet. And he had almost these supernatural or mystical powers because he was so enlightened, okay? So he had gone through the trials and tribulations and reached enlightenment. And that's what became his mastery, is he mastered all of those lessons so he could give out that guidance and wisdom to the rest of the people. So deep connection, trust your inner voice. Are you trusting your intuition? If not, why not? Where do you need to apply some lessons there? Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So if you're tapped in and paying attention, spirit is going to communicate with you. So if you get a sudden aha moment, a sudden knowing, that's what we call a download. You are receiving the information that is meant to reach you. The Dragon Rider always reminds me of Game of Thrones, of Khaleesi, right? She had 3 dragons. She had blonde hair. She was somebody that was very powerful, right? And not everybody has the ability to ride the dragon, if that makes sense. So think of dragons as like guardian angels. They're entities that have been on the supernatural realm for millennia. And so basically the long and the short of the Dragon Rider is that it's your companion. It's like your spirit guide that's with you. You guys are intertwined energetically, and so they're always there to help you and assist you, but it's a special bond and connection. Divine order. All things happen in divine timing, right? Certain things need more time in order for them to pan out, and other things are happening as we speak. All things happen in divine order, so don't rush the timing. All right, what do we need to see for Sagittarius? Ooh, 10 of Pentacles for you as well. Some sort of inheritance, lottery win. Paying it forward for future generations is what I feel. Can you shift your perspective? Of course you can, right? You can communicate what you need, what you don't want. You can go towards your highest timeline. You can enjoy the fruits of your labor, what you've worked so hard for. Some of you might be starting a new job, travel, movement, relocation. It does lead to financial blessings, maybe even some love. I do feel like you meet somebody through traveling or through work, but you will have a choice to make. And some of that involves commitment, whether you choose to be with them or not. Ask yourself if it's a toxic situation. Is there issues that need to be resolved? Then maybe don't go forward until those are. And if they can't be resolved, you might set yourself free and go in a new direction. For some of you, I feel like you're not ready for commitment. You don't want it. You kind of want to do your own thing. Maybe you just want to explore new options, set new goals for yourself. That's also an opportunity for you to come into a wish fulfillment, but the option is open for you to have a totally new beginning, totally different trajectory, new money, travel the world, all of those things, right? The world is at your fingertips. So you're closing out some difficult cycles, leading to lots of wealth and abundance and the possibility of love, marriage, and connection. The choice is always yours. So decide what is working best for you. Remember to shift your perspective this month. Know that opportunities will present themselves for financial blessings and for love, and you have to decide if you want them or not. Leo, let's see what's going on for you. We're going to start with this deck. Let's see what we have. Ooh, Mercury. Mercury will be retrograde in part of November. It happens 4 times a year, every single year. It's not new, but it can cause some glitches in communication, travel, purchasing tech stuff. There can definitely be some glitches. It's typically inconveniences more than like catastrophes, so that's a plus, but it can feel like we're moving backwards temporarily. So know that in November we might be dealing with some obstacles. So double check things like texts and emails. Make sure that everything is the way that you meant it, because misunderstandings definitely happen. I have Mercury placement, so I tend to stumble over my words as well. So open communication, get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. So where in your life is that going to apply? That might be some areas that you need to take action. Commander Ashtar, it's a call to action, right? You're going to be a leader, but you're also going to have to lead by example and walk your talk, right? So put your money where your mouth is. You're going to have to make some choices where if you're going to be in a leadership role, you're going to have to demonstrate how these people follow you. And I'm not saying like you have minions or anything that follow you, but maybe you do. So set the example that you want, right? Be the leader that you wish you had, because you are in that era. All right, your gifts could also be opening up. You could be receiving a gift from somebody as well. I do feel like for some of you, your crown chakra, your third eye, and your heart chakra might be the most affected. So there could be some unresolved issues that come to the surface that you might need to address as well. And that leads to some sort of decision. So think about it carefully. Don't feel like you have to rush to make this decision, but there is a choice needing to be made. So make it wisely. All right. You start with a victory. So I love that for you. Something that has been a very difficult obstacle for you is leaving your life in November. So we've paid our dues and now we are setting ourselves up for success. We love that. So some area of your life, and it could have to do with, I'm picking up like what you do for work, how you communicate, might actually make you publicly recognized. So the 6 of Wands is a card that shows us that we're headed towards a victory, but it's also potential for fame, fortune, and public recognition. People are seeing you. They're noticing what you're doing. In some way, shape, or form, it's public. So know that going forward that you're about to be seen and showcased center stage. Wheel of Fortune. It will pay off for you as well. Unexpected blessings that are karmically owed to you are coming in. Good luck in your favor, helping to restore some balance. Maybe your gifts have been stifled because of that. Know that the shadow work or the inner work is what's going to help to unlock these blessings for you. So decide whether you do that or not. It's always advised you do. You're going to have to shift your perspective somewhere to get this blessing. I also feel like you're going to have to eliminate some untrustworthy people out of your circle, right? Because that leads to your ultimate happiness, peace, and a wish fulfillment. I also feel like the truth or the clarity is coming out this month. So whatever that happens to be leads to a celebration, birthdays, anniversaries. Maybe you're celebrating getting engaged or getting married. The Hierophant is all about ascension as well as tradition. It's also a card of marriage and commitment. Solidifying something, okay? So get out of this lack mentality. You're going to have more than enough, and Stella's got her groove back. This card always makes me think of that. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is a fiery dynamo. She likes the spotlight. Good or bad, she don't care. She uses it to her advantage. Somebody who is dynamic, somebody who is well-dressed, outspoken, somebody who is artistic, creative, passionate, and has a fiery personality. Sound familiar? So I do feel like you are entering a different era at this time in November. You're headed towards a lot of success, a lot of abundance, and I feel like you could also have love should you want it. And I do feel like you're going to have a lot of attention. So be choosy, decide who or what is best for you. Cancers, let's see what we have for you. Paul the Venetian, Green Tara, the thought dragon, and dormant aspects. Okay. So there's some sort of experience that's coming into play. Have you ever heard that saying where it's like you're not starting over, you're starting from experience? I feel like you have built up a lifetime's worth of experience, and that's going to come into play in November. Whether you're, giving like advice to somebody, coaching somebody, but there is something to do with this experience that's coming in. So give yourself some grace as well as others. Experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. So open your heart space and allow others to do the same. That's going to be critically important. The green Tara, supreme protection. So there are obstacles that are being removed from your world. You are protected. The cords are being cut. So move beyond limitation and have trust. Okay, so that's part of the give and flow, or the ebb and flow, the give and flow of opening your heart, right? Giving others grace, giving yourself grace, and allowing these things to transform for the better, not the worse. Your thoughts become things, so keep them positive until you see things change, okay? That can be a challenge. If you're an overthinker, if you're a worrywart, like, yours truly over here, that can be a challenge, right? Some of us suffer from anxiety and things. So be kind to yourself. Realize that we're just human, but if you realize that you're kind of going off the rails, start to slowly bring it back. Start to think positive. You can use affirmations. You can use words of encouragement. Fake it till you make it, until you believe it, okay? Because it will change your life. And there is something within you that's waking up. Some sort of dormant aspect is waking up. Maybe part of that is really trusting your instincts and intuition. Part of that, I feel like, is your spiritual gifts and calling. We all have some. So that might be waking up for you. That might make you feel a little uneasy. It shouldn't. You're supposed to have those, or God wouldn't have given them to you. All right, Spirit, what do we need to see for our Cancers? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of November, please. Awesome. Okay. So the first thing I see is that you're finally going to get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, what you've been working so incredibly hard for. So the Nine of Coins or the Nine of Pentacles is a card of you've worked to achieve this. Now it's here. Now what? Well, enjoy some of it. Go do something with some of that money to repay yourself or honor and celebrate the things that you have accomplished. The Fool card tells us that you're about to take a leap of faith somewhere. So where in your life do you need to try something new? Because Spirit's going to kind of show you what opportunities are there for you to do so. And you might be wanting to get out of conflict and chaos and find some peace. Maybe it's peaceful thinking. Maybe that's where it starts for you. But we have this victory, okay? And so there's some sort of fame, fortune, or public recognition that's coming in from these dormant aspects. Maybe you're supposed to be seen. Maybe you're not supposed to be, shy, quiet, and an introvert. Maybe you're supposed to be publicly recognized in some way, shape, or form. So Spirit's asking you to shift your perspective and to see a situation differently. You will find some sort of reason to celebrate this month. You also will find some sort of balance in your world, right? So stop juggling everything. Make a choice of what works and what doesn't. And there you find your peace and your ultimate happiness. The Ten of Cups is a card that's seen as the happily ever after card. Marriage, commitment, children, the whole 9 yards. Peace, happiness, and love. So step into your calling. Step into where you are meant to be, which is to be in your soft receiving energy, as well as nurturing, caring, and empathy, right? So I feel like you have a lot of sleepless nights, worry going on. We need to eliminate that. It's creating conflict and turmoil, chaos, arguments, okay? All of those things. We want to find a peaceful resolution to create the balance. So this month, Spirit's asking you, what are you prepared to let go of? What is the heavy burden that you need to release? And when you release that, you will be rewarded. They're going to show you a whole world of opportunities, peace, love, and happiness, success, money, all of the things that you need to feel at your best are coming in. So let the baggage go and enjoy your blessings. Pisces, my home team, let's see what's going on for you guys in the month of November. All right, we start with Krishna devotion. So your spiritual devotion has been recognized and you are loved unconditionally. So trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Spirit loves you, and there's nothing you can ever do to change that. I like to think of God, Source, Spirit, Creator, Energy as like my best friend, the place where I can go take all of my worries, all of my woes, and I'm not judged for it. I'm not condemned for it. I'm loved instead. And so if you look at it that way, as opposed to something where you're going to be punished harshly or you're going to be persecuted or judged, then you start to see that it's a loving energy. And that's the way that I look at it. So I hope you do too. Freya, phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and then released. So I do feel like when we go towards the full moon, that a lot of things are going to come to the surface for release, right? That's what full moons are all about anyway. And so we as humans are affected by our planet and the moon and the stars. And those things can actually be really beneficial for us, or they can be at a detriment. And sometimes it's showcasing what isn't working in our life so that we can address those and make changes accordingly. We're going to be in Mercury in retrograde for part of November. So that's going to bring things up to the surface that we need to address, right? That we either continue on or we finally master the lesson and we let it go and we release and move forward. The choice is always yours. Spirit will continue to show you these lessons until you have mastered them. In new people, new situations, the cycle will repeat until you have mastered that. Think of like a video game, right? You've got to go through all these different levels to reach the finality, right? Enlightenment is the finality for us. When we have the answers we need, when we've experienced what our soul came here to do, and then we transcend into the spiritual. So I feel like there's a lot of big lessons that are opening up this year for the collective. And home. We want to make home a comforting space, right? We don't want it filled with conflict and chaos and all of those negative things. So as we move from the warm weather into the cooler weather where I live in the northern hemisphere, we are going into fall and winter. And so in winter, we're almost in this resting energy, right? It snows, it's cold, all these things go dormant, right? And so we retreat inward. And so that's a perfect time to work on yourself, right? And so sometimes we need that, and home should be a comforting situation or place for us to be. So if it's not, I feel like adjustments to the home might be made as well. And we have King Arthur. So this deck is called the Dragon Wisdom, and it's based on, you know, Lancelot and King Arthur and all of those things, and Avalon, which would be their version of heaven. So King Arthur wanted to create heaven on earth. He wanted to basically create this version of heaven. And so that is the premise behind this card in this deck, is that he's communicating with spirit. His dragon entity is like his spirit guide, and he's communicating what it is his needs are. So I feel like Pisces, your spirit team is communicating with you heavily in the month of November to show you what is working and what isn't, so that they can help you make adjustments. Love that. All right, Spirit, what do we need to see for Pisces for November? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Apologies if you hear the crazy dogs. They're outside playing, but they are loud today. So they're outside so Mom can work. Okay, what do we need to see for Pisces? Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. There we go. Ooh, yeah, you need some rest. Burnout is a real thing. So I feel like if you have been burning the candle at both ends, if you've been running yourself ragged with your to-do list, Spirit's trying to call you back. They're trying to call you to a period of rest and recovery. Why? Because without that rest and recovery, you're living in survival mode. You're in this push and pull. You're in these adrenaline dumps that are totally unhealthy for you in the long term. Short term, it can save your life, right? It can keep you out of danger. But in the long term, it really starts to wear your body down. So I feel like in the stillness of winter, we're going to make sure that we take time for ourselves. Self-love, self-care, and rest, okay? And if you're a workaholic like this Pisces is, that might be a challenge for you. So Spirit's trying to challenge you to remember to rest. Make your home a sanctuary. Make it to where it is a peaceful, loving environment, okay? And if it's not, adjustments need to be made. So Spirit might be calling you to take action to release things in your world, or to go after hopes, dreams, and wish fulfillment. Things that maybe you really want to see change for the better. I do feel like Spirit is going to encourage you to take action in certain places, so wait for your green light. I do think some of you are traveling, moving, or relocating, okay? Some of it could be for a job, especially a better paying job. So home might change for you. You could be physically moving. You might be moving for a job. The job might have you traveling. You might have to travel to move, to relocate for a job. There's opportunities that are coming in. It's trying to move you to greener pastures, to a better situation than where you currently are. You also have this chance to let go of something from the past. There's lots of memories and nostalgia. Some people read the Six of Cups as an ex returning. Again, Mercury in retrograde brings things or people back from the past for review. Anytime we're in retrograde, it's a review process, meaning that things from the past resurface that are not yet resolved. You always have a choice to make. You can continue and nothing changes, or you can course correct and do something that's a little different, and the outcome then changes. So there might be some memories resurfacing. We're headed into the holiday season, the busy hustle and bustle, right? All of those things. Some people don't get along with their extended family. We have Thanksgiving and then Christmas and New Year's and yada yada, okay? And so if you're one of those people who doesn't really like the holidays, then that might be a challenge for you. Spirit's encouraging you to turn over a new leaf and to go in a different direction. If you're not up to celebrate holidays, do so. You don't have to. There's no reason saying that you absolutely have to commit to that. If you're a person who's in no contact with your extended family, don't feel like you have to be obligated to wish people a Merry Christmas or a Happy Thanksgiving. Do what is best for you, but don't inflict pain on others in the process. You do have the King of Wands, so I feel like you're about to be placed in a leadership role in some way, shape, or form. You could also have a fire sign in your energy, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. This person's usually really business focused. They're usually somebody who's very creative, very charismatic, very charming. So this could be somebody new that's coming in to help assist you. You will have a decision to make, so choose wisely. Make sure you've got all the information before you decide to pull the trigger on something. Remove any sort of blinders that you have, right? And see things for what they are. The truth and the clarity will be there. You just have to look for it. You do have a wish fulfillment that's coming in. Aquarius energy with the star. So there might be some creative aspects that are factored into this. I feel like a manifestation is coming in for some of you. It always happens in divine timing, right? It's like she's literally connecting to the heavens and she's asking for what she needs. And I feel like Spirit is going to deliver. For some of you, it's a huge blessing. For some of you, you might be the star of the show. You might be the one that breaks all the generational cycles in your family and blesses them for generations to come. The Ten of Pentacles is just that. This elderly couple here has worked their whole life to bless their entire family lineage. And so their children, their children's children, their children's children's children benefit from this legacy. And I feel like that's exactly what you are setting your lineage up for. And it makes me choked up. So I feel like there's going to be tremendous blessings that come in for you starting in the month of November. And this is the karmic justice that you deserve. You've paid your dues, okay? You've been through the ringer. You have been through so many trials and errors where it's like, I'm trying and nothing ever seems to change. Spirit has seen all of that, and now they're about to rectify the situation. You could be dealing with courts, contracts, legal issues, a Libra, the justice system in some way, shape, or form. We left Libra season and we're now in Scorpio season. And so I feel like there's been this dismantling of things that didn't work. Scorpio is the sign of death, karma, and rebirth and transformation. So your world is starting to change and transform as a result of this karmic justice. It's bringing in the balance so you don't have to juggle so much. You know, there's that saying about, money doesn't fix everything. It sure would fix a lot of people's problems though, right? If you didn't have to worry about your bills, your mortgage, your car payment, all the daily tasks of things, right? If you didn't have that to worry about because you had all the money you could ever need, well, that solves most of the issue right there, doesn't it? So I feel like that's exactly what Spirit's setting you up for. Expect a tower moment. There are some things that have to change or be dismantled in order for these changes to take effect. Go with the flow, see where it takes you. Don't hesitate when Spirit's trying to move you, because they're bringing in this wish fulfillment and abundance. And then you need to step into your softer energy. You need to be who you truly are, faults and all. You need to make sure that the world sees you for who you truly are. I feel like some of you have had to hide your gentle heart. Some of you have had to hide your softness because there's people out there that try and harm you. And so Spirit's trying to let you know that you are energetically protected on all fronts. Just be you, and the blessings start to flow into you. So the biggest message that I see is that if you are in a soft energy, if you are open to new possibilities and you're releasing what's not serving you, the blessings will find you in the month of November. Scorpios, you guys have a monthly message up on the channel as well, so check that out. It's sign specific for Scorpios. So every time that we change zodiac signs, I try and put up a sign specific reading for you guys to know what's highlighted for you. So let's see what's going on for your November monthly reading. What do we have? We have Lord Shiva, Transcendence. We have Hope. We have bliss and a new world. Wow. Okay. We're going to have a pretty exciting Scorpio season, it looks like. Spirit is trying to encourage you to transcend something, an obstacle in your life. What does that mean? Transcending something is overcoming it, right? Like overcoming a hurdle in your life. Transmuting is where we change the energy, right? It's almost like we send it to the recycling bin so that maybe it's negative going in, but when it comes back out, it's positive, right? We throw the trash in and we get something new out of it. Making sense? So rise up, honor your inner force, steps are being given, dance with the universe. I feel like you might have some snakes around you. And so I feel like it's incredibly important that you trust your instincts and intuition to avoid literally the pitfalls of these connections. Okay, so we're going to overcome those things, and we have hope. So I feel like you need to keep hope alive that certain things are changing for the better. Love and acceptance. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth and choose loving thoughts. Be kind to yourself. Choose to love yourself and others unconditionally. Okay? I promise it changes the game. It also encourages you to find bliss. Where is your happiness? Does anything in life bring you joy and happiness anymore? Can you resonate with bliss? Because that's a frequency that I promise you magnetizes you to new opportunities in a positive way. Blessings will hunt you down, okay? So resonate with that feeling of unconditional love and bliss. And if you tap into creator source energy, you will feel that. That is a glimpse of what your future holds. And we are entering a new world. Okay, so new timeline for you, for the collective as well. The new world, the new earth. What are we creating? We're trying to create heaven on earth. So I feel like there are some major things changing, and it's going to change quickly. So I feel like November through December is going to be kind of a pivotal time for the collective, the world as a whole. Lots of things are changing, systems being dismantled so that we can achieve the next set of goals globally. And some of it happens quickly. Movement, travel, relocation, purchasing a vehicle. You could be dealing with a Cancer as well. I feel like Spirit's trying to help you to create balance in your life. Maybe things have been all over the place. Maybe everything's been kind of flipped on its head upside down. So Spirit's trying to get you back on track so that you can make some forward progress. When we're in Mercury in retrograde, it feels like we're going backwards, right? So things are delayed. There's lots of obstacles and hurdles. They're going to help you transcend those in order to make some forward progress. I also feel like there could be somebody that kind of is in 1 minute and out the next. So very much like here and gone in a flash. one night stand energy. So you might have this really independent streak. Maybe you're at a point in your life where you don't want to settle down and you want to just play the field. That's fine. Just make sure everybody's on the same page so nobody gets their feelings hurt. I do feel like Spirit is trying to bring you in some sort of karmic justice as well. This will make you extremely happy. So if you're dealing with court cases, legalities, contracts, the legal system, the justice system, I do feel like things are going to be rebalanced for you. You could also be dealing with a Libra as well, where we finally find maybe some happiness or some balance. And we have the 9 of Cups. So some sort of wish fulfillment. This comes out with New World. So this might be like changing your entire world because of all of this hard work. Are you doing shadow work? Are you working on you? If not, this is encouraged for you to do so. It's going to help you to move mountains in your world. It's going to help you to come into alignment. Plan or set some goals for the next few months into 2026. Medium, short, and long-term goals, okay? And see where those take you. And then you have to figure out how you're going to achieve those. So let's say your short-term goal is maybe you're going to, I don't know, change something that's really out of whack in your world, and you're going to figure out how to do that. Maybe another one is you're going to have more time to do the things you enjoy, to find that bliss that you're looking for, whatever it happens to be, because it ends up at the King of Pentacles. So slow and steady wins the race. It might take you a while. Who cares as long as you get there, right? We don't have to rush everything. Some things take time. So if you're building a business, you're building an empire, that's not going to be something that happens overnight. Give yourself some time and have some patience for things to come into alignment. The King of Coins is somebody who knows that slow and steady wins the race. They know that that hard work will pay off. So focus on your goals and your aspirations. You might have to get creative. There could also be some good luck coming in with creating something, passion projects, hobbies, things like that. I feel like good luck is on your side for those. You also have somebody that could be a little bit cold or hard to deal with in your energy, so I do think that you're probably cutting that person off, especially if they turn out to be nefarious or a snake in some way. I do think you're facing some sort of need to rest, right? There's some sort of exhaustion, and so take that seriously. It's going to be important. All right. We also need to change our perspective somewhere. So things are shifting, things are changing. We need to make sure that we are coming into alignment with balance. You have 2 5s back to back, so you're completing something. You're completing the doubt and the fear. You're also overcoming maybe some sort of lack mentality, not being able to pay for things. Money is changing for the better. This is a recovery card. So it tells us that the rest is actually going to help us to see things differently so that we're able to make positive changes. So you could be recovering from things like injury, illness, surgery, or financial difficulties in the month of November. Geminis, let's see what's happening for you for November. Ooh, interesting. We have Horus, the cosmic gateway. So there's some sort of door of opportunity that's opening up for you. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So think positive about the outcome, okay? Let's say that you put something out there into the ethers, right? And you start to fear hiccups for confirmation. So this could be happening to some of you. You put your ideas out there, right? You're trying to receive what you're putting out there, but your doubts, your fears, your disbelief will actually block that from coming in. You have to be open and positive to receive a positive outcome. And I've watched it happen in my own life several times. So if you're trying to manifest things, you're trying to put things out there to receive, be open and expect the best possible outcome, because miraculous changes are occurring. Focus on your intention, okay? Really important before you start doing that. Focused intention. Think about what you desire and set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome, okay? Hopefully that shows up. It's a little bit blurry. That's what it says at the bottom of the card. And there you will find some peace, okay? So Spirit's trying to bring in a peaceful way of being instead of constant worry or constant conflict. So the fire chalice is all about burning the things away that don't serve your highest good. Maybe it's negative thoughts that you're thinking. Maybe it's blocking your flow of abundance and blessings. Maybe you write down all of those things that you're trying to get out of swirling around in your head and you burn them, okay? Get them out of your head, put them on a piece of paper, do it safely, don't start any fires anywhere, but burn it. And that's a way for you to release things. New moons are all about bringing in new energy, and full moons are all about releasing. So you can save it up and do it around a new moon or a full moon to release, full moon to welcome a new moon, okay? And if that's too complicated for you, when the energy calls you and you feel like, okay, I don't want to do things this way anymore, write it down on paper and burn it. Get rid of it once and for all, and let the universe know that you're serious about welcoming in your positive manifestations. All right, what do we need to see for Gemini? All right, Gemini, you might also be trying to manifest new love, something that's emotionally fulfilling, not something that's emotionally draining. So I feel like you'll be at some sort of crossroad or needing to make a decision about love, romance, and relationships in November. I also feel like you have spiritual help and spiritual protection that's trying to come in for you. So we have to make a decision, but we've got to focus on what we want, not what we don't want, okay? And Spirit's going to help you to bring in the peace that you're looking for. They're going to deal out karma if it's needed. They're going to help to rectify the situation and reset the balance. And so judgment means that judgment is here, right? Judgment day is upon us. Time's up. It's time to either shit or get off the pot. You've got to make a decision. I feel like Spirit wants you to follow your passions. The Fire Chalice and the Ace of Wands, both fire energies, so you could be dealing with a Aries, Sag, or Leo. I also feel like they might help you bring in some good luck or help you kind of, so to speak, light a fire under your ass to get you on the path you need to be, right? Maybe we're in this really stuck feeling and we need some encouragement or motivation to keep going. So that might be happening as well. Spirit's encouraging you to shift your perspective. Not all hope is lost. There's still something to salvage, but you have to shift your perspective to see it that way. I do feel like you're going to be paid for your work. So this would represent putting in the effort, putting in the hard work. Remember, your hard work could also be part of your reputation. So you want to make sure that it's a good one, okay? I'm a small business. So what I do, I have to have word of mouth in order to create more people coming and buying readings. So in order for me to do that, I A, have to put myself out there, and B, I have to build a business that's built on trust and quality, not just quantity. So that's important going forward. You are going to be paid well, okay? You might have some sort of unexpected financial blessing coming to you. Could be an unexpected check in the mail, bonuses, pay raises, things like that coming in. Enough to share the wealth with others, okay? More than enough coming in. So we're going to close this chapter of heartbreak and pain. We're going to pull the swords out of our own back. We're going to let go of the heartbreak and pain, and we're going to set ourselves free and learn to heal from what has broken us. This is an important card for you. I feel like it's really something that maybe you've put off or you've put on the back burner. You're going to be in a headspace where you're able to heal from this at this point going forward, and that opens up a whole new world of opportunities for you. Remember, Spirit is opening a door for you. They are opening up some sort of miracle and fresh start for you. So you're overcoming the challenges and difficulties. That way you can come out on top. We have travel is opening up for you. We have new streams of income could be coming in for you. So you're going to have a lot of choices. Make sure you choose wisely, okay? Whatever you choose will be best for you at that time, but there could be something that is unseen. So we want to take our time and choose wisely. You're also going to be faced with another decision of what direction you want to take things going forward. So choose wisely. Decide what it is you want before you pull the trigger, and you come out on top. You have the World and the Sun in your last row of cards. So this would tell us that you're headed towards an abundant timeline. You're headed towards happiness, marriage, connection, children, all those things if you want them. But it is up to you, okay? So turn over a new leaf in the month of November. I feel like you're going to transform. You're going to have all these opportunities that come in because you've paid your dues, because you've done the work. And so now it's time for that energy to be returned to you. So don't block your blessings. Allow the miracle to come in. Libra, let's see what's happening for you. Ooh, we have Sanat Kumara light activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So Spirit's really trying to connect with you. I love this card because he looks like he's completely illuminated. He almost looks like he glows in the card, and then it's like a dark background, but there's all these like symbols in the background, and it's light code or light activation. If you've never heard that term before, it's like spiritual energy that's trying to connect with you to give you information or messages on what direction you need to go somewhere in life. So it's super, super important. So hopefully that shows up. So if you can see like the detail back here behind him, that is light code or light code information, light activation coming through. So shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So what is Spirit trying to talk to you about? Because Archangel Michael is also present in your reading, which tells us that you have a lot of energetic protection. I feel like you also need to really trust Spirit energy. You need to trust that the divine is communicating and trust heaven. Know that you are safe, that angels stand close, and you need to surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. So where in your life do you need the miracle to come in? Because Spirit's trying to give it to you. You also have some sort of lesson in self-worth this month. So that might be something that you're working on. Self-love, self-care, figuring out what you want going forward in your world, and reflecting on how you feel about you. Is it positive or is it negative? If it's negative, you have some work to do, because you should love yourself unconditionally. And if you don't, that's a lesson that you're going to learn in the month of November forward. We also have the love dragon. So be open to receive and to give love, okay? Open your heart space, and I feel like it's a game changer. What do we need to see? What's going on in the month of November? Thank you. Okay, so we start with the Knight of Cups. So there could be some romance coming into your life. There could definitely be a new romantic offer that's coming in for you, either to you or you're going to give one to somebody else. Sometimes I see the Knight of Cups as like an engagement card. Like the Knight of Cups is usually seen as the knight in shining armor. So somebody that's generous and loving and loyal and trustworthy, and somebody who really wants to express how they feel, but they lack a little bit of courage initially to do so. So once this knight finds his courage, he comes forward bringing meaningful gifts. So this person is transforming as well in order to chase what it is that they want. I do feel like you have a chance to take a step in a new direction. So taking a leap of faith is going to help you, and Spirit wants you to do that, right? There might be something in your world that needs to change for the better, and they're encouraging you to take that leap of faith. The only caution is look before you leap, right? Because if you look at this, in most of the depictions, he's got like a cliff here that he's getting ready to take that next step, but he's going to fall off the cliff if he's not careful. So his little dog back here is trying to tell him, hey, watch your step, you might fall. So it's an important lesson that Spirit's trying to show you. Pay attention to what's going on. They're trying to communicate. Are you receiving the message? All right. So I do feel like there is this need for healing, and I don't often get that with this card, but that's what's coming through. So part of your self-worth might be that you need to heal from something. You do have an unexpected offer that's coming in. It's something that you won't see, and I feel like that comes as a result of working on yourself, right? Valuing yourself, valuing who you are in order to make things transpire forward. We also have the King of Coins. So this could be your energy. You might be coming into some money. Maybe things are improving at your job. Maybe you're trying to work for yourself. He's usually seen as an entrepreneur, right? He is the boss. He's the CEO. He makes the choices. But it didn't work that way in the beginning, right? He had to pay his dues. He had to figure out how to climb the ladder, all of that good stuff. And I feel like love, that you might they're saying that you might actually really love or enjoy what you do, right? Especially if you're building your own empire, that you might really love what you do. So get grounded in what it is that you want, figure out how to achieve your goals, and know that slow and steady wins the race. You could also have somebody in your energy that is very cold, or they come off that way. They're not initially, I mean, they are initially, but once you get to know this person, they open up sometimes if you're the right energy. So she's known as the Ice Queen in Tarot for a reason. She's calculated, she's intelligent, she's somebody who doesn't take any BS from anybody, and she does cut people off, right? That's why she's wielding the sword. She's also dealt with a lot of snakes, and so she's protective. And so she's in that cold energy as a protection mechanism. So I feel like you have some things that are changing in your world in order for that Ice Queen, whoever she happens to be in your world, whether it's a business partner, a coworker, family, romantic partner, whatever, she's somebody that I see as like she will cut things off that are no good as a way of self-preservation. So there's some toxicity in your world that needs to change as well. Addictions, codependency, violence, all of these things with strings attached or things that are holding you back. The Fool tells us that we need to be open to new opportunities or to make changes, to go in a new direction, right? To take that leap of faith and to let go of these things that are hindering our growth forward. You're also trying to eliminate things out of your world that bring you conflict and chaos, so peace and calm can be what you are dealing with. So I feel like you could be moving, traveling, or relocating. There's something that's definitely changing in your world. And money is one of them. So for the better, being able to pay for the things that you need, that you want, recovery financially for maybe some things that were a detriment as opposed to a blessing. There's also a chance for love and happiness here and a peaceful union should you want one. Marriage, commitment, all of those things are on the table. But we first have to let go of some sort of obstacle, right? We have the devil, we have that mixed with the 10 of Wands, all about letting go of some sort of heavy load or burden. And that Spirit is trying to tell you we have your back. So Sagittarius energy with the Temperance card. It's about dipping your toe in the water, finding balance, creating that from within, and then it has a ripple effect on the rest of your life. She's pouring into her own cup first, right? You can't pour from an empty vessel. So you have to be fulfilled in order to fulfill other callings or blessings. So I feel like Spirit is trying to encourage you that should you do that, you're going to come into alignment with happiness, right? With positive changes in your life, some sort of celebration, birthdays, anniversaries, or some unexpected good news. You have a lot of things changing in your world, so be open to that, because on the other side of that are peace and blessings. So don't stifle your own progress going forward. Be open to receive that and be open to change. Aquarius, my aqua sauce, let's see what's happening for you in the month of November. We start with Lady Nadia, Heart Awakening. So your heart space might be being activated at this time. You could even feel like little, they're giving me the word blips, little like strange beats as your heart space kind of opens up. So obviously if you think there's something medically going on, go get that checked out. But your heart space is expanding and opening. Your heart is waking up. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. Where in your life do you need to do that? Where do you need to open up and give and receive in balance? Kernunos, the life force. He always makes me think of mating season with like the antlers falling off of the deer and the buck and things like that. So express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased, right? Mating season. I feel like as we're moving into the stillness of winter that we're gonna, they're giving me the word encompass some of this loving energy, right? Some things are changing for the better in that area. So be open to it. Express your passions. And the Lost Dragon. So if you look at this closely, there's a dragon and a unicorn, and the unicorn's horn is illuminated. So it symbolizes that you are energetically connected to divine energy, right? So if we think of having like an antenna out of the top of our head, we're receiving that signal from Spirit, and Spirit's trying to help us to navigate through the challenges. Some of you could be experiencing some sort of loss in your life. I don't typically ever read tarot cards to reflect like, oh, someone's literally going to pass away, but it can mean that. It can be interpreted that way. I typically don't read it that way. I think there's always a lot of wiggle room with readings. So whatever loss that you happen to be experiencing, whether it's financial, whether it's relationships, whether somebody actually did pass, know that it's an opportunity for you to appreciate what you have while you have it. We never know what time frame we have left on this planet. Tomorrow could be somebody's last day. Did you accomplish your dreams and goals? Did you express your feelings and emotions towards those that you love? If not, this is an opportunity for you to do so while you can. So don't take it as like a negative. It's an opportunity. I will tell you a personal story. When my mom passed away, I was the last person in our family to see her. I got to spend the day with her. I got to connect with her. We talked for hours, and I got to hug her and tell her goodbye for the last time and that I loved her before that happened. A lot of people don't get that sort of closure. Some members of my own family didn't get that closure. So take every day like it could be your last and experience things as if it was not going to be able to be duplicated again, okay? And then you leave the planet with a clear conscience. I said and did everything I needed to do to who I needed to do it with. And then you are free of any sort of like karmic energy of regrets. So use that as an opportunity to really live life. And Spirit wants you to know that in the silence, you are going to grow, okay? So there's something to do with timing here, that time might be running out for some situations. Maybe it's a job that it's reached its expiration date and you no longer wish to continue with that employer. Maybe it's relationships in your world that aren't serving their highest good, so something's got to change and time is running out to fix things. I feel like whatever this is, the silence is where you grow. So if you feel like you're kind of lost and you don't have direction, you need to seek spiritual guidance and advice from Spirit. What do we need to see? What's going on for Aquarius? Thank you. Truth and clarity is coming out. Some sort of breakthrough, bright idea, epiphany, right? Because I feel like Spirit's going to start communicating with you more. What's funny is what's coming to mind is they're showing me the unicorn horn, and then we have the Ace of Swords, right? So both pointing where? To the heavens, right? To connect, to make sure that we are receiving the information that we need to receive in order to make some forward progress. What else do we need to know? Okay. So we also need to set ourselves free from this lack mentality of hoarding things or resources, because that's not actually helping us, that's hindering us. What's crazy is I love the depiction of this card. She's holding on to her coins and then she's encompassed in the wings of this vulture, basically. So I feel like you might have people around you that either you feel like you can't trust with your finances, or that there's something going on where you feel like you have to keep it close to the chest. And Spirit wants you to know that you're protected. So make wise choices and don't feel like you have to hoard your resources, that more is always available. I feel like you're also coming out of a bit of hiding and that you might be kind of in the spotlight a little bit. You might have a lot of attention on you. They're drawing me to the volcano in the back of the card there, and it's erupting. So almost like things take off or they blow up for you in a positive way. I do feel like this comes after some sort of event of loss, something that you lose, you find yourself again, okay? And that there's positive changes as a result. There could also be some new love that's coming in. The little red string of fate down there, it comes in quickly. There's also the chance of like pregnancy announcements and things, fertility with the rabbit. Things happen quickly. You might meet somebody that you just really are like, you feel like you've known them for a million years and you just click with that person. That would be an indication that this could be who's coming into your life. We also have like a harsh authority figure that's really intelligent, but they can kind of be a little sharp-tongued. And so this might be somebody that you have challenges with, and you're going to have to make a decision on whether you continue this or whether you go in a new direction. But you do have some manifestations that are trying to come in. I love how this is Cinderella. And so Cinderella had a fairy godmother, which really was like her spirit guide. And so the spirit guide or the fairy godmother was helping her to manifest this dream reality. And your spirit team can help you do the same thing. So when we put our intentions out there and we're manifesting into the ethers, we have to be open to receive. She didn't doubt that her fairy godmother could help her because the fairy godmother was waving the magic wand and creating this reality. you can do the same thing with your world. It just depends on you. So you have to be in alignment to receive these things. And I feel like the timing wasn't right, but it soon will be. We have the Death card and we have the Loss card. So if you're experiencing an actual loss of some kind, my deepest sympathies for you. I know what that feels like firsthand, and I know that it's not an easy road. So process through your feelings and address the issues if there are any. I do feel like you're going through a major transformation. We're in Scorpio season at the time that you'll see this message, meaning that that's the sign of death, rebirth, and transformation. It's also a card of karma. So things are being changed energetically. If you are going through a major evolution in your world, if you're going through major changes and transformations, it can be kind of unnerving and very unsettling, but it also leads to blessings. So you have to go with the flow and you have to process through those changes. You do have a commitment coming in if you want it. I feel like whoever this new person is coming in, because I do feel like it's new energy, I feel like you're going to solidify things rather quickly. I feel like when you know, and you're just going to decide whether it's for you or not. The Two of Cups is a soulmate connection. It's something that's meant to be in your life and it's meant to be there for you. So we have to shift our perspective in order to see things differently, in order to make these changes. You need to nurture the things you want to grow and eliminate the things that you don't want to grow. And that leads to some sort of stability coming in for you. Again, I feel like union is definitely something that's coming in for you. I feel like you've manifested this into your reality, and it helps to give you the love, reassurance, and connection that you've been looking for. It's the stability that you crave. And so if things have been anything but that, that is about to change for you. So I feel like whatever this transformative phase is in your life in the month of November, that it facilitates positive changes as a result. My favorite analogy for that is a caterpillar and a butterfly. It starts as one thing and it goes through its major metamorphosis and it transforms and emerges completely changed. It is not the same as when it went into its cocoon, right? It underwent complete and total destruction in order to reemerge something totally different. And you can't have butterfly conversations with caterpillar people because they simply wouldn't understand. They haven't gone through that awakening themselves. So as a result of all of that, you're going to become who you're meant to be. So embrace the change and go with the flow. Virgo, let's see what's happening for you in the month of November. Almost said September. All right, we start with the Miriam Sacred Vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal and see the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. So in this deck, these are twin flames in here, and all of the characters in the deck have a significant other. What is coming through is that they are the same half of the same whole, if that makes sense. So they're like a mirrored image to each other. So there's a sacred vision for your life. I feel like there's some unity coming in, maybe even possibly some sort of commitment coming in for you. And you need to learn how to remember to learn how to see the light in all and learn how to love unconditionally. There we go. And transcendence, Lord Shiva. So there's something that's changing in your world in order to show you this, right? We're going to overcome these obstacles, these hurdles. We're going to transcend or overcome whatever this obstacle is keeping us from that. Rise up, honor your inner force. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. I feel like your third eye is really going to be amplified and elevated. I get hiccup P energy for confirmation. So there's something going on with really trusting your instincts and intuition and learning how to open your heart space. Hiccups for confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. We have Osin. So he would be the king of the dragons in this deck, and he bows to no one except Spirit. Okay. And I feel like that's kind of the energy you're in. It's you maybe question a lot of things. You maybe kind of push the envelope a little bit, kind of push societal structures and norms and rules. And I feel like you're learning how to overcome those things so you can step into your divine energy. Osin would indicate that you are kind of a force to be reckoned with in this energy, that you don't really, what is the right way to put this? That you don't really take orders well. You can follow instructions, but you don't like orders. And so this would tell you that maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should make the rules, and That way it's easier for you to cope with. I do feel like with the Earth Chalice, there's something that you're about to bury, meaning that there's something you're going to let go of. So all of the chalices in this deck are the elements: fire, water, air, and earth. And earth governs material things, right? So money and property and things that are tangible that we can see and touch with our hands. So I feel like you have some things in your life that are changing that you're releasing. And so we ground that energy and we put it back to Mother Earth. And as a result, something new can grow from what we have released. So I feel like you have a lot of things that are changing in the month of November. Okay. What do we need to see for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What's happening for the Virgos? What is the energy for November? Thank you. You've had to be patient a really long time, right? Especially I feel like where it comes to love and relationships, it looks like there were a lot of delays. Mercury's going to be retrograde during the month of November for about 3 weeks plus like a 2-week shadow period. And so I feel like you're going to feel these delays, but they're being removed. And so the good news is that since they're being removed, that means we're going to make some forward progress, especially where it pertains to love. So there could be an unexpected love offer either from you or to you, however that happens to resonate, because the obstacles are being overcome, because you're able to actually hit the pause button from time to time and check in with yourself, learning to release these obstacles. That's going to set you up on this new trajectory of blessings and abundance. Could be a new job opportunity. Maybe you're going to be the king of your castle, right? There's some new abundance that's flowing to you, and it leads to satisfaction, and it is something that I feel like you could really use at this time. So be practical about your approach, right? You might have somebody that's also like a business owner, or somebody that's very nurturing, very grounded, very practical, that maybe you bounce ideas off of. This person I wouldn't say is like necessarily super emotional. I would say this person's really pretty grounded and they're focused on their dreams and their goals, right? And so they might be able to help you achieve those as well. The Five of Coins is a card that tells us that we're overcoming these financial obstacles in our world, that we're going towards a period of recovery, financially, emotionally, spiritually, all those things. And so this is going to help you to pay your debts on time. It's going to help you to eliminate obstacles, people, situations that are draining you. And so you're going to celebrate that win. There's some positive changes coming in. Try not to get lost in the overthinking. I feel like the Nine of Cups can be, Nine of Swords can be nightmares and anxiety. You might be struggling with those things at this time. This is an opportunity for you to ground and clear that energy, right? The Earth Chalice is all about let's dissolve these things. Let's bury this stuff that we don't want so something better can grow out of it. Think of when you plant a garden or you plant a seed, right? We put it in the earth, we bury it, we water it, we give it sunlight and nutrients, and over time it sprouts and it grows into something. That's what Spirit's trying to show you, that through the darkness, you are growing, okay? Through these obstacles, through the fear, through the anxiety, the worry, all of the unknown, you are growing. You're learning how to navigate this path. And so be practical about how you actually get there. You could also be stepping into your divine energy. Male or female doesn't matter in tarot, it's simply energy. So things have been kind of like a waiting game is what it feels like. And this is a deciding moment for you. You get to decide whether you're going to continue doing what you're doing or whether you make a course correction and go in a different path. That's where I feel like you might step into this energy. He's bold, he's assertive, he knows what he wants, he's somebody that takes action, he's a conqueror, right? So if you think of the emperor in like military terms, it would be like the head of the head of the state, the head of the country, the head of the army, the military, whatever, in order to go in and conquer what they want. Maybe it's taking over an empire. Maybe it's conquering your fears, manifesting, whatever it happens to be. This person takes action. It's also a divine counterpart. So it's the masculine energy. You might resonate with that, you might not. But I feel like Spirit's trying to show you that through balance, it creates change. So there could be a reconciliation coming in. There could be somebody taking action towards you in love. It could be in business. So Spirit wants you to cut out all the things that don't serve your highest good to get there, right? Maybe you have to protect your heart from things that were no good for it in order to achieve your next set of goals. But you will achieve your next set of goals. This is a wish fulfillment that's coming in. So it could be love, it could be money, and it definitely could be both because that's highlighted here. So I feel like you have love on the brain and I feel like you have money on the brain, and you're trying to figure out how to navigate having both at the same time and making it a positive start. I feel like you're going to get there. The only hesitation I see is you're going to have some delays, so don't let that deter you. And we've got to stop overthinking and having worry. And if you're having panic attacks, you got to get to the root of what's causing it and learn to release it. And then you will be set free and you won't have to relive it any longer. So focus on what's most important to you and navigate carefully how you get to the other side of your blessings and abundance. Taurus, let's see what's happening for you this month. We have Mary Magdalene, Cthulhu, the Thought Dragon, and the Destiny Dragon. Love that. So there's some sort of wisdom or knowledge that you are here to share. The teacher awakens, Mary Magdalene. If you don't know who Mary Magdalene is, she was associated with Jesus in the Bible. She was one of his disciples. She was said to also be like his wife. And so there's lots to go into that. We aren't going to do that here today, but the teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call and don't let anything stop you. So you're here to fulfill your destiny. And I feel like that might be a hard pill to swallow for some of you. Maybe you don't want to be seen. Maybe you don't want to step into that leadership role, but you're meant to. It's part of your destiny. So Cthulhu, the cloak of wisdom. I feel like you also already know what you're here to do, or you have an inkling, and that you already know the answers that you seek. So trust what you know, right? You might be the guru in that subject. You might be the one with all of the answers or most of the answers. And what you don't know, you can seek wisdom and guidance from the divine in order to learn, right? So I feel like you're almost coming full circle. If you look, there's the Ouroboros, I think is how you pronounce it, the snake that's like eating its tail. It's a cycle in your life, right? And so some cycles need to close and other ones need to begin in order for us to actually continue forward on this journey of life. So Spirit's trying to help encourage you to think positive thoughts, okay? And if you're not thinking positive thoughts, you need to change that so that it is positive. Thoughts become things, right? That's how manifesting works. We envision it, we feel it, we think about it, and we think about it positive, and then we watch things start to unfold. So if you're doing the opposite, where you're thinking negative all the time, doubts and fears, those block your blessings. We want to change that for the better. Spirit would like you to step into your destiny. They're going to align things for you in order to facilitate that. Rainbows could also be significant to you at this time. So are you ready to step into your destiny, the path that was set out for you before you incarnated? Because it looks like that's exactly what Spirit's trying to do for you. All right, what do we need to see for our Taurus, the bull gang? What's happening for the month of November? Thank you, Spirit. Abundance. They're going to reward that hard work, right? You get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You get to enjoy the good stuff in life again. What's funny is he's holding a watermelon and he's sharing it with like a little bird. And so I feel like you're going to be so abundant, so blessed that you're going to be able to be a blessing to other people, right? You're teaching from a place of wisdom. So you're going to be sharing those things with the collective in some way, shape, or form. Sorry, my nose ring is itching my face right now. So we're also going to walk away from things that don't serve our highest good, whatever that happens to be. Love, relationships, work, a job, anything that's not set in our path for the better, we're going to say no to. Especially if you've tried and nothing is working, something's got to change in order to get to your blessing. We also have the Four of Coins. So this is an indication that you are financially covered and protected. However, Spirit doesn't want you to be hoarding resources. They don't want you to be stingy because more is always on the way. So be open to receive. Share what you have, even if it's a little bit. Spirit sees that and they will reward you. Your destiny may also give you some clarity, okay? And so you might be headed in a totally new direction. You might have some sort of epiphany, an aha moment. The breakthrough is on the way. So be open to receive that. Be open to receive the blessing that's coming in from the clarity. Some things got to end in order to get to this new cycle. So death, rebirth, transformation, we're in Scorpio season. So I do feel like some of you are going through a major change or metamorphosis. You could also be dealing with somebody who is a cold authority figure, somebody that's really challenging to deal with. I feel like you're closing the door on that chapter. So a decision will have to be reached. You need to decide with clarity what it is that needs to change in your world, and Spirit's going to give you the tools to do so. I feel like for some of you, you want to go towards marriage and commitment with a certain someone. You're looking for stability, not necessarily flighty energy. I feel like you're looking for somebody that you can share your world with. And I do feel like that is something that's coming in. You may have manifested some of these changes. It's also part of your destiny to find love, commitment, happiness, and stability with a soulmate connection. So nurture the things that you want to see grow. Be kind to yourself and others, and learn to shift your perspective from lack to abundance, and watch doors and opportunities open up, especially as you get the clarity to head towards your destiny. And last but not least, our Capricorns. Let's see what's going on for you for the month of November. We start with Radha, the soul flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself and experience relationship harmony and healing. So this would indicate that there is something that's been hidden or that's been tucked away that needs to come to the surface again. Maybe you're an artist, maybe you're a super talented creator of some kind, and you just haven't felt like doing that. Maybe it's knowledge, maybe there's this thirst for knowledge, maybe you're going to teach, maybe you're a speaker, a writer, whatever. Whatever this happens to be for you, you're going to start to learn to uncover it and bring it to the surface in order for you to feel fulfilled again. So following your passions or your soul flame. You're also starting to realize that there's this interconnectedness, that things are all connected. Every living thing on the planet is somehow interconnected. So soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding and you understand the connections between all things. And if you don't, this is Spirit's giving me confirmation, you will start to see that in your everyday world. It's like, one of my favorite analogies for that is, think of the cartoon thought bubbles, right? That used to, like a little bubble up above their head of like comic books was a great interpretation of that. And so let's say that there's this really big thought bubble that is the collective consciousness, and that all of our thoughts kind of go into this bubble. And so people who are on the same wavelength, same energy, their thought bubbles kind of connect. Okay, and so slowly but surely, we're all kind of getting these downloads, these thoughts, these things to come in, and we find people with similar things going on at the same time. And that's how you start to see that we're all connected, right? So your thoughts become things. Maybe you want to find people with similar interests. Maybe you want to find your soul family, things like that. That could be changing for you as well in the month of November. You also might have a little bit of an independent streak. So I feel like you're going to embrace that. Maybe this, they're giving me the word pastime. Maybe this lost part of yourself is your independence. Maybe that's something you've struggled with for a long time. And now all of a sudden opportunities open up for you to be more independent if that's what you so desire. There's also companionship that's available to you. You're never truly alone. You always have Spirit to rely on should you need some companionship. I love this card because I think all of the little dragons' faces are so cute, right? And so maybe it's pets, maybe it's family, coworkers, friends, whatever. I do feel like you have some companions that absolutely love you and want you in their energy. Okay, what do we have going on for our Capricorns for the month of November? Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What is the energy around the month of November, please, Spirit? Thank you. Ooh. All right, so Knight of Swords energy. You are going to take action, I feel like, when it comes to rediscovering this part of yourself that's been lost. Passions. What makes you tick? Okay, I feel like maybe you've been in kind of like low vibrational energy, depression. Maybe you've been kind of in hermit mode. Maybe you just kind of detached yourself from people, places, and things as much as possible. I feel like that's going to change for you, and that something's going to happen for you to take action. I feel like we're also recovering from some sort of financial difficulties. You could be cutting somebody off that's not a good fit for you and walking away, especially if there's collateral damage that comes out with the Independence Dragon. So if it's not good, we're going to say no to that, and we're going to gain our independence and go in a new direction towards celebration and companionship. Okay? So we have to shift our perspective of things that don't work, knowing that there's still hope, that there's something to salvage even after heartbreak or loss, and that we're going to focus on healing and focusing on our passions, things that make us happy. There could also be a passionate new encounter coming in, so use caution if you're not ready to start a family or anything. And we have the Four of Wands in reverse. We're looking for stability, and right now it looks like things are kind of all over the place, that they're on rocky ground, especially in love relationships. So that might be something that's changing or ending for you, and that's going to help you to create the balance. You could be waiting on some sort of legal issue to be resolved, courts, contracts, legal issues. A Libra could be involved, but this is about rectifying the situation and creating the balance, and that's what helps you to take a leap of faith and go in a new direction, right? Healed energetically and abundant, and finding your confidence, your independence, your stability, all of those things. And then look what shows up: new love. So you'll have to decide if that's what you want, but Cupid's arrow is going to strike. And so when those two people come together, it's almost like you have to decide if this is what you want or not. But for some of you, it could be your divine counterpart. The Empress would symbolize things like pregnancy as well as fertility, positive changes going forward, nurturing the things you want to grow. The Empress is in receiving energy. So if you work through the obstacles, you're going to receive the blessings. That's how it works, right? You got to pay it forward. You got to pay your dues in order to receive what you need. It's got your name on it. This is part of what's karmically owed to you that's changing. We've gone through these really difficult cycles. We're in a 9-year a 9-number year. There we go. Don't know why that word wouldn't come out today. But 9 is telling us that we're almost to completion. 9 years are difficult, okay? It's all of the things that we have been kind of dragging with us over the last few years throughout the decade of what's holding us back and what's going to help us go forward. We're going to release those things so that we can get to 10, which is completion. Next year is a 10-year. You're going to start to see things dramatically change across the collective, financially, in work, in environment, in love relationships, all the way across the board. And that's why this year's been so challenging, is because Spirit's trying to illuminate all the things that are holding us back. What are you ready to purge out of your life so that you can live your best time ever? Because that's what's coming next year. You've got 2 months left of this year to make changes. And then we start on the finality of things really taking off for the better. I hope it helps. Have a wonderful month of November.